Welcome, boxing fans, to Unbiased Boxing Talk, where we cover all the latest news in the fight game. So in this video, I want to talk about the heavyweight division as a whole and who I think is the best fighter at heavyweight. So in less than 2 weeks now, we have the Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Anthony Joshua rematch fight for the WBO, WBA, and the IBF belt at heavyweight. And we see that Deontay Wilder just brutally knocked out 4,000-year-old Luis Ortiz. So at this point, I would say that either Anthony Joshua or Andy Ruiz is the best heavyweight in the world currently, because those two are the most proven heavyweights, because Anthony Joshua has the best resume at heavyweight, and Andy Ruiz Jr. just beat Anthony Joshua. So whoever wins the rematch, to me, is considered the top heavyweight. We see that in Deontay Wilder's last fight against Luis King Kong Ortiz, the 4,000-year-old senior citizen, that he was losing the entire fight, 6 rounds, 7 rounds, because it was basically at the end of the 7th round when Deontay Wilder landed one right hand that put Luis Ortiz out. We see that Deontay Wilder has absolutely no boxing skill, and if you're able to counter him, get on the inside, and get him out of there early, it should be a pretty easy fight against Deontay Wilder. But when you get into the late waters, that's when he starts getting dangerous, and that's when you're going to start having a hard time with him. We also see that Tyson Fury completely outclassed and destroyed Deontay Wilder. He embarrassed him the entire fight except for those 2 rounds. I don't know what round the first knockdown was in. It was maybe the 5th or 6th round, and then the 12th round when he almost got knocked out. Those were the only 2 rounds that Deontay Wilder won, but other than that, he got completely outclassed and destroyed by Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury in his last fight almost just lost to Otto Wallin. So, you can't consider Tyson Fury to be the best heavyweight right now, because he doesn't have any belts, and he hasn't really proved anything else besides beating old Vladimir Klitschko. We also have a Dillian Whyte, who Deontay Wilder refuses to fight right now. He's the mandatory challenger, and we see that fight might not even happen until 2021, because WBC wants to protect Wilder, because they're a corrupt organization, and they do not want Wilder to lose that belt. So at this point, we would see that, again, Anthony Joshua or Andy Ruiz, the top 2 heavyweights, and then we would have Deontay Wilder at number 3 right now. And we also see that we also have Alexander Usyk in the mix. He's an up-and-coming heavyweight, or he's not really up-and-coming, but he's a new heavyweight. He just had a solid performance in his last fight, his debut at heavyweight. We see that he's the most skilled fighter at heavyweight, but we don't know how well he can take a punch from a heavyweight. We don't know how he would fare against an Anthony Joshua and an Andy Ruiz. We don't know how he'd hold up against even a Dillian Whyte. We know that he's the best technician in the division. We know he has the most skill, but he is coming up from cruiserweight, so we don't know how well he can take that punch. But again, Alexander Usyk, definitely the most skilled fighter at heavyweight. And even if Andy Ruiz were to fight Deontay Wilder, we see they're both with the PBC, so if Andy Ruiz wins the rematch, you'd assume that fight would be made on the PBC. We see that Andy Ruiz would do a good job at getting on the inside of Wilder early. He has more power than Luis Ortiz. He'd be able to hurt Wilder early and often to the body, to the head, and he'd get him out of there. There would be a good chance that he'd get him out of there. A better chance than Luis Ortiz, because Luis Ortiz is a 4,000-year-old senior citizen who does not hit hard anymore. We see that he's been degrading in his last couple of fights. He couldn't even get Malik Scott out of there a few years ago. So, yeah, Andy Ruiz Jr. would definitely, I think, have the best chance at defeating Deontay Wilder, because we see Anthony Joshua is a bit chinny. He got stopped by Andy Ruiz Jr. So that's all I really got to say about this. Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel if you like my videos. It'll really help the channel out. And thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in to Unbiased Boxing Talk, and we'll see you in the next episode.